Hello, this is Dr. P. Shobha, Rani, Professor in the Department of CSE RMDEC Engineering College. Today we will try to discuss about software testing under object-oriented software engineering. As we all know that software testing is a process of checking out the errors that in the coding or maybe in the coding before delivering to the end users, or finding out the bugs in the program before delivery to the end users. Okay, before going to the software testing, there are two topics what we have to remember is nothing but verification and validation. We will try to call it as a 2B. Verification is nothing but it will check that the software has been developed for a particular specific function properly, and validation is nothing but the developed software is checked out with the giving some sample data. If it is capable of displaying the results according to the client, then the validation is completed. That's why these two are interrelated. Verification we normally call it as, are we building the product right? Validation is nothing but, are we building the right product? Okay, software testing has got some various some 4 steps are there. First, normally it is nothing but there are the requirements of the client has been found out, and then according to the requirements the problem has been framed. For that problem statement we will try to create a design. Okay, after finishing the design, we will try to start writing the coding for each and every part of that particular design. The coding part will be checked one after the other in the form of a module, sub-modules, and then sub-modules by making use of your verification as well as validation. There we will try to call it as a testing directions. The testing is normally of basically 2 types. One is nothing but the manual testing, and second one is nothing but the computational testing or automatic testing. Okay, the various strategic approach how we are going to do the testing is nothing but the first and foremost testing will be applied in the coding part, because as we know that the sub modules has got a collection of the modules. Each and every program you try to call it as a coding. For that coding part we will try to apply the unit testing. That means each and every program separately checked out to make the program to free from the bugs, or we will try to call it as a debugging. And so at the level of the coding we will apply the unit testing. Okay, at the level of the design means we will have the integration of the various programs or integration of the various sub modules under the design. That time we will try to do the testing called as an integration testings. And then the third part is the requirements. Requirements is nothing but after finishing the integration testing under the design part, the programming will be free of the bugs. Then we will try to apply the validation testing. Validation testing is nothing but we will try to give the sample data that are the sample data to check the design test, the integration testing. If that is successful, then the validation testing is also successful. That is nothing but that is each and every part of the validation testing. If it shows the positive result, then that particular product is ready for the end users. The system engineering and the system testing, the overall entire validation testing, that means what the input is given, what is expected by the output, it is successfully in all the criteria it is showing it. Then we will try to call that one called as a system testing. That time we will try to make use of that system engineering topics and all. So normally we will try to do the testing. If it is a very small module, the software engineer who develops the coding, he himself or she herself will finish it off the testing. If the size of the project is very huge, large products, there will be a separate section for the software testing. Under that section also we will have the 2 modules called as a manual testing as well as, for example, computational or automatic testing will be there. So every time it has been proved that the testing will be done for each and every sub modules, and then it has been done with the integration testing, and then only the testing in the large it will be taken into consideration. Now we'll try to see what is meant by unit testing. Unit testing, as I already explained, the unit testing will be done at the code level for each and every program. It has been done. To do this unit testing, we will try to create a various types of the test cases. See, for example, imagine that there is a program that you try to create. For example, take an example of to find out the perimeter of a circle. The length and the breadth and the radius will be given. Okay, for that one, the various types of the lengths and the various types of the, for example, radius will be given, and so that for each and every validation of the data, it should show the end results in a positive way. That we will try to call it as a test cases. So local data structures, boundary conditions, independent paths, the test cases will be created. For example, for each and every program, some various types of the test cases will be computed. That we will try to call it as a test case. One program will have the test cases of 8 test cases, or maybe another program may have the 16 test cases. Like that it will move off. Okay, integration testing is nothing but one particular program will be tested. That is an individual testing. The same program has been clubbed to the another program, and again the testing will be done. That we will try to call it as integration testing. We will try to call it as called as a clusters. We will try to find out one cluster, and again we will club that in with the second cluster, cluster 1, cluster 2, cluster 2. Like that the clusters will go on. So we will end up the class. We will see you in the next class.